Alexa, off. Hey, Kill, how are you? Can you hear me?
It's actually for Cadence.
Caden, okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. What about you, Cindy? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, and I'm representing Graham Foley. He's got another commitment tonight, but
Yeah, no worries. And really, it's more important that we have you guys on as parents than it is the kids, because we all know that they just want to go. And then we know the parents are the ones with the questions. So yeah, it's definitely more important for you guys to be on, but if they can make it, over the next couple of weeks, that's perfectly fine too. So it's if they miss today, they can always go on next week or the week after. So where are you guys from?
Phillipsburg,
Okay.
Kansas.
Yeah, out in Western Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and I'm from Tonganoxie, Kansas.
Awesome. So, and I live in Spring Hill, so just between Olathe and Paola.
So now the 70 some kids who were invited,
Mhm.
have they all been sent this link or just a few?
No, so all of them have been sent their invitation and the link yesterday. So we sent out all 77 invitations yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Okay, well, they might all show up here in 3 minutes.
Yeah, so I don't know what to expect. I think if we get 5 or 10, that'll probably be good. Because giving people 1 day's notice, typically, our first meeting doesn't have as many as the following. So, but we just added another one here. So hi, Kirsten, can you hear us? All right. So where are you from?
Pike Valley. We're kind of north central Kansas.
Pike
area.
Valley, is that Cuba, Kansas?
We're west of Cuba by like 30 minutes. It's Scandia.
Oh yeah, okay. The home of Pete Guile.
Yes.
So that's cool. Yeah, Pete's about my age, and he was at K-State when I was at Washburn, and he played music all over the place. So
Yeah.
that's how I know Scandia. And then my parents both grew up in Belleville.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Brigham, have you been with this organization for very long?
16 or almost 17 years. And
Whoa. So how many trips have you been on?
I have no idea. Lots. So yeah, and when I say I've been with the organization, I own the organization. America's Team is my own small business. So, and I'll get into that formally when I introduce it. But yeah, I started America's Team when I was 26, and I'm 42 now. So I've been doing this for 16, almost 17 years.
Now, when I was looking at the website, I saw an acronym ACIS.
Yep.
I thought, also?
Yeah,
So are you partnering with them or how does that work?
yes. So ACIS is my travel partner, and they're based in Boston, and they've been in business longer than I've been alive. So they started taking kids overseas in 1978, and I was born in 79. So let's see. So yeah, they've been taking kids over for over 40 years now.
Great.
Wait, it is 7 o'clock. So let's get this party started, because I do not punish the people that show up on time. The others that show up, they can catch up to us. So, all right. So the formal presentation. So before we get into Spain, I'm going to tell you my history and how this whole thing got started. So I played baseball at Washburn while I was in college, and got the opportunity to go to Germany as a college kid and play baseball. And it is hands down the coolest thing I have ever done. And I went overseas like a lot of kids, I think, and I had blinders on. Like, I thought I was just there to play baseball. And the second day we were in Germany, they took us to the Dachau concentration camp. And guys, I still get goosebumps every time I talk about it, because going to that part of the world and seeing what happened there, it was like the good Lord grabbed me by the shirt and shook me and just said, hey, there's a big world out here. You need to go see it. So I, that's the part of it that changed my life. And so I come home, graduate from college, and go to work for a couple years, and quickly realize working sucks. Like, I don't recommend it to anybody. So I decided that, if I have to work, I might as well do something that I love. So I started taking baseball teams overseas when I was 26, and we've grown this thing to now we do baseball, softball, volleyball, and basketball teams. So rolling along, and I guess maybe I should back up, Cindy, since you had the question about ACIS. So when I formed America's team, I partnered with ACIS, and simply put, ACIS keeps my promises. And what I mean by that is they're my travel partner. When I tell you guys that we're going to take care of all of your flights, we're going to book your hotels, we're going to take care of all the meals and the tours and everything that goes on, that's not me doing it. That's ACIS with their network of global partners. They're taking care of that for me. So when I promise you something, ACIS is making sure that promise comes true. So that's how that partnership works. And so we're rolling along, and how we get to taking ag kids overseas is COVID hits and international travel gets shut down. And thank God it's back up now, but we haven't traveled since 2019. So in the meantime, I took a job with a company called Elevate Ag, who is a regenerative ag company here in Kansas. And I'm learning so much about farming, because I'm not a farmer, but I'm learning so much. And when I get to see the farming market, I saw a really cool niche of taking high school kids overseas, and instead of playing baseball, let's insert ag education into that. Because my goal for the kids is to get them overseas, whether their interest is baseball or farming or choir or whatever. Use their passion to go see the world, just like I was able to do with baseball. So that's a little bit about my story. But Kirsten, today is about your story and the rest of the kids. So I just want to open it up to you guys. Oh, hold on one sec. We got somebody else coming in. I just want to open it up to you guys and, see what questions you guys have and just, turn this into kind of like a Q&A. Hold on one sec. Lily, can you hear us?
Yes.
All right. Well, cool. Well, I'm Brigham, and I just got done, introducing myself and my history, and I can go over that with you, later on too. And now we've just kind of opened it up to Q&A to see what questions everybody has. So I'll be quiet and let you guys fire away.
So how many of us are like in the Kansas delegation going?
So how many kids can go?
Yes.
Perfect. So there's not a limit. We can fit 50 people on a bus. And if we got 51 people to go, we would simply get 2 buses. And so realistically, I think for this first year, if we can get somewhere between 20 and 30 kids to go, I think that's going to be a win, because, this is a new program for the ag market. So I think if we can get 20 to 30 kids, then I'm going to call that a success, because, my vision for this, just like with our sports program, where, in 23, we're going to go to Spain. Then in 24, maybe we go to France. 25, we go to Australia. So we're going to go to different destinations all the time to keep it fresh for you guys. And I know that if I get 20 or 30 kids like you, Kirsten, to go, you guys are going to be my spokesman for me. And you're going to be able to just tell all of your friends, and it's going to grow like wildfire. But, this is a long answer to your question, but I think, 20 to 30 kids is, probably a reasonable goal for this first year.
So I noticed that there were 2 dates when I was getting my son registered. There was a June 5th and a June 13th.
Okay.
So would 50 kids be going on June 5th and 50 kids be going on June 13th, or would you split the 2? Because June 5th is what our ag advisor communicated to us.
Yes. So the dates for the tour, there's only one set of dates. You're leaving Kansas on June 5th and you're getting back home on June 13th.
Okay, I might have missed, you know what? I might have seen that in the beginning thinking, oh, there are 2 trips. And then I might have actually seen that it was a leave and come back date. So, okay, so there's one trip, June 5th.
Yep, no worries. And the dates for that were purposely chosen because I worked with Beth Gaines, who is the state director for the Kansas FFA, and she wanted to make sure that we did it after the state convention. So she basically picked those dates for me. She's like, this is when you're going to go. And I was like, yes, ma'am, that'll work.
Oh.
So, but Beth has been a lot of help in, getting this set up. So I give her I give her a hard time, but she's been very, very helpful.
Does the state convention end on the 3rd or the 4th?
I don't know. I could Google it, but she said the 5th is a Monday. So when does the state convention typically end, on a Saturday or Sunday?
Oh, I'm looking at 2022. Okay, yeah. I'm like, oh, please give us a day to transition. Okay, if the 5th is a Monday, that makes me feel better, because
Yes, it is.
I bet the convention is maybe spilling into Saturday. Okay, cool. Here's a question, another one that I've got. It sounds like the kids are on their own for lunch, like that the meal costs cover, or that the cost of the trip covers breakfast and dinner, but not lunch.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work each day?
Yeah, sure. So let me answer that question specifically, and then I'll just go over what's included and what's not included. That way everybody's on the same page. So typically what we do for lunch is, we'll be either on a tour or, as part of the ag education, and we'll go to like a little shopping center or strip mall or like a town square, and there'll be 4, 5, 6 different restaurants that the kids can pick from. And this is when we give the kids a little free time, where the tour manager will say, okay guys, it's 11:45, let's meet back here at 1 o'clock. Go grab a bite to eat, maybe do a little shopping, and then go eat. And typically what happens is the kids, they'll break off into 2 or 3 smaller groups and go try different restaurants. And then the teachers or adults that are with them, we'll make sure that one adult goes with each group of kids. And we got Livia's joining us here now too. One sec, let me make sure we got Livia on. And then once we get Livia on, I'll go over what is and what's not included. Livia, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. So guys, here's what is included and what's not included. First, what is included? So your flights, hotels, all the ag education tours we take you guys on, all the cultural tours and excursions that we take you guys on, then your full-time, bilingual tour manager, then your tour bus, and then breakfast and dinner every day. I'm not sure if I said that or not. So that's everything that is included. Now, here's what's not included. So lunch every day, and then spending money for souvenirs, tips, snacks, incidentals, stuff like that. But other than lunch and spending money, everything else is included.
Do you recommend that the kids have like a credit card that manages the currency issue? Although I'm sure sometimes they're going to need cash.
Yep.
So like how much, Spanish, well, I guess they're going to get euros.
Yeah, they use the euro. So this is how I travel, and this is what I would recommend is take $100 in US cash, and when you get overseas, convert it to euros. Then have either a debit card or credit card that they know the PIN number to, and almost 99% of the places that you're going to visit in Spain, you can just swipe your credit card like you can here at home. Then for those places that either don't take credit cards or you need cash, you've got the $100 in cash. And then if they do need cash, if they need more cash when they're in Spain, use the credit or debit card at an ATM, just like here at home. And that's going to give you your best exchange rate with the lowest fees.
Okay. Where are the adults coming from for this trip? Will
Sure.
there be opportunities for adults also? How does that work?
Yeah, so let's like everything else, I'm going to give you a long answer. So the first part of that is yeah, let's just tackle the whole, because this kind of rolls into safety and that kind of stuff too. First part of it is the chaperones are going to be the FFA teachers from around the state. So for every 8 kids that go, we'll have 1 FFA teacher travel. So if we had 24 kids, that would mean 3 teachers, because it's always going to be a 1-to-8 ratio of kids to teachers. So that's where the adults are going to come from. Now, you as parents, you guys are more than welcome to travel. And when I say parents, I should really say family members, because we've had parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles. So you guys are more than welcome. And the cost for a family member is the same as one of the ag students. And Cindy, what that guarantees you is you get everything, Graham gets. So same flights, hotels, meals, tours, you get it all. So you're going to get to share that experience side by side with him. So that's, so yeah, you guys are more than welcome to travel. And with our sports teams, we average 6 parents that travel with each team. So I anticipate a handful of you guys, joining us too.
Brigham, my advisor actually specifically told me to ask if advisors could go. So now that you say that, how would she need to go about like trying to make it so she could go on the trip too?
Is it an application or
Like,
is it a selection
yeah.
process?
Yeah, you bet. So when they were nominating, and I guess this brings, when she nominated you, there was a question on the survey that said, would you like to be considered for travel? And it was a simple yes or no. But if she didn't fill that part out, just have her shoot me an email that says, hey, yes, I'd like to travel if we can. And that, I guess that backs me up to, how you guys were all invited is I reached out to all of the FFA teachers throughout the state and asked them for recommendations. And I told them, really what we're trying to do is build an all-star team of ag kids. Because I relate everything back to sports because that's how I got this thing started. But that's how we build our sports teams is we use that all-star model. So I just took it and applied it to ag. So that's why you guys were invited.
I have a question about how many kids can go. Is it just the number who sign up, or is there like an upper or lower limit for what is possible?
Sure. So there's really not a limit. We can fit 50 people on a bus. And if we get 51 that want to do it, I'll just hire 2 buses. And like I told Kirsten this earlier, with this being the first year, I think a realistic goal is somewhere between 20 and 30 kids.
Okay.
Oh, I know
So
what I was
one
going to tell you too. Unless, does somebody have a quick question?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Backing up through the safety part of it. So at a minimum, it'll be a 1-to-8 ratio with teachers to students. And then we employ a full-time bilingual local Spanish tour manager that's going to be with you guys 24/7. And what they're going to do is they're going to run the tour for us. What I tell the teachers is the tour manager is going to be your best friend, because the tour manager is going to, check us into the hotels, call ahead to the restaurants, make sure the bus is there to pick us up, take us on all of our tours. They're going to run the logistics of the tour, because what I want the teachers to do is focus on 2 things. Number 1, have fun with the kids. And number 2, experience Spain. That's what I want the teachers to focus on. I don't want them trying to figure out where to park the bus or, where the restaurant is. I want them fully engaged and focused on the kids. So that tour manager is going to be with us the entire time running our tour.
Is there a code of conduct contract that the kids are going to be signing? I mean, I know that they've been chosen or recommended by the advisors, but it always kind of helps to have an extra layer of I will not consume alcohol while
Yeah, so that
just things like that,
Yeah, that's part of the terms and conditions that they all sign. And what our policy is on, drinking, for instance, is you can't. And that's my role and that's my rule, because what I don't want to have to do is I don't want to put the teacher in a position to have to make that decision. So I make it for him where it's just no drinking, because especially in Europe where an 18-year-old kid, they can drink, but I lay the law down with no, you can't drink. And that way it takes the pressure off the teachers to have to make that decision.
So another thing I noticed when I was going through the registration, there was an extra fee for twin rooming, I think was the term.
Yep.
And when I went on the instant live chat to ask about that, they said that, depending on the hotel or, the lodging, that sometimes, there's just a double bed, and so I think it would be nice. Well, I guess as you're going through the registration, it's made very clear, but, unless you choose that, is there a chance you could be sharing a bed with another student?
Oh,
and
yeah.
all that?
Okay. So yeah, let's just go over rooming in general. So our standard room is a triple, which means 3 kids to a room, and there'll be 3 twin beds. So that's our standard room. Now, Cindy, let's say you and Graham want to go, you guys want to go together and you want a room in a double room and you don't want to have that third roommate. You can absolutely do that. You would just have to pay that double room surcharge, because think of it this way. Let's say a hotel room costs $100 a night. If there's 3 people in that room, it's $33 for each person. Then if you want the double, you can do that, but then that $100 would only be split between 2. So you and Graham would have to make up the difference for that double room surcharge. So does that make sense?
That does. However, I want to read the little live thing. Okay, so this live chat, I took a picture of the words. It said, standard rooming for European tours is 3 students per room, separated by gender. We always try for 3 separate beds, but maybe 1 twin and 1 double bed. You are able to upgrade rooming if you would like. You could upgrade to a twin room, which is 2 twin beds or a single room. So I guess, it may be that you're out of sync with the ACIS bot. But it was no, but it was a real person, actually. I was with the automated, bot operator for a little bit, but then I was a live person here. So I guess I just want to make sure I'm not paying the extra $350 for no reason. Because if standard rooming is going to be everybody gets their own bed, and maybe it's a bigger deal for boys versus girls, I don't know, but I'd rather not pay the extra $350 if they're definitely all going to get their own bed.
Sure.
So,
I would save your money, because that hasn't been an issue on any of our tours.
okay. And now that I've registered and chosen that option, I can go back and edit that, because I'm still like, I'm in their system and everything. I haven't paid the full amount. I only paid the $200 minimum deposit.
Okay.
So I
Yeah,
would
so
hope that's something flexible.
Yeah, you can do one of 2 things. You can go in there and try and edit it yourself, or you can simply shoot me an email and I can forward it to ACIS to get that changed for you.
Okay, I'll let you know if I have trouble.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
I have a question about, so when we got the message yesterday with, it said she had 30 days, from the
Mhm.
time we received the invitation to make our decision.
Yep.
So like, that makes sense to me, but I'm wondering like if parents or family members decide to go along, or do they have that 30 days too, or how does that work?
Yeah, great question, Olivia. So you're absolutely right. The 30-day deadline is for the kids. And then if you decide you want to go, you can wait. So a good rule of thumb for any parents or family members is make sure you're signed up by January 1st of 23. So yeah, you have plenty of time, as a family member to make your decision.
So I
Um,
know, oh, sorry.
Oh, are the kids gonna have a chance to like meet each other before the trip? Are there gonna be any like meetings amongst them so they can get to know each other a little bit first?
Yeah, absolutely. So we hold these Zoom calls so the kids can, see who else has been invited. And then, yeah, once we get let's say we get the 20 to 30 kids that sign up and want to go, then yeah, we can absolutely get together on Zoom, or if they're going to be at the state convention, we can meet in person there, and I think that they'll probably have an idea of who the other ones are, but yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm sorry I interrupted. Go ahead, Kirsten.
Can people still be nominated and like get registered? Like, how long is that open?
Yeah, they can. So, what we're doing is I put that 30-day deadline on people because people respond to deadlines, and I want to know where we're at, by the end of May. Because if we go through there and we've only got 10 or 12 kids signed up, I'm going to go back out to the teachers and say, hey, we need to invite some more kids. So that's why I put the deadline on you guys to, see where we're at, by the end of school.
So there could be a potential for more people to be nominated later on, like this summer.
There could, yes. Yep.
And did you put like an age like specification of like graduating that year, or gonna be a grade level type of thing?
So
Or how did
I'd leave it up to the teachers to, who they want to recommend. And when I met with the teachers, they felt comfortable doing 10, 11, and 12th graders. So like right now it'd be freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. So it'd be next year's senior, junior, and sophomores. And they didn't feel like they could nominate, 8th graders because they didn't know them. Uh-oh. Can you guys still hear me? It says my internet connection is unstable.
Yep.
Okay.
So I've got a question. So for every 8 kids, there's going to be an FFA teacher. Is the cost for the teachers the same as the cost for the kids?
No, the teachers travel for free. So that's part of our vendor contract is we get 1 free spot for every 8 paid travelers. So we use those free spots for the teachers.
Okay. And then if parents or want to come along, does that just only increase the ratio of, kids to adults? There might be fewer kids per adult or whatever, or would the family members be just peripheral and the teachers are in charge? How does that all work?
Yeah, so the teachers are still running the tour. Like if you go, Cindy, you're not going to have an assigned role. Like we don't want you to, we're not there to try and put you to work. We want you to go and enjoy that time with Graham. So, we may ask you to go to lunch with some kids to help keep them chaperoned, but other than that, we don't want you to work while you're on tour.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, Olivia, where are you from? If I asked you, I forgot.
Well, I was late and I'm sorry about that. My mom called me right before that. I'm from Manhattan and my daughter Nissa couldn't be here tonight. She had 2 back-to-back meetings, so she may come to the meeting because you're having these once a week, right?
Yeah,
These meetings?
every Tuesday night for about the next month. So
Yeah, so she may come to the meeting next week to I'm taking notes and if she has more questions, so.
okay. No, that sounds great.
Oh, I've got a question. So, when it comes to, I noticed there was trip insurance, and goodness knows the world has been unpredictable, and I think trip insurance has become
Mhm.
more and more important as a result. But if, like, heaven forbid, World War III, if let's say the Ukraine thing escalates and whatever,
Mhm.
and the tour gets canceled, like, if you didn't have trip insurance, would everyone get a credit for the next year? Would they get a refund? How would that work if the
Sure.
tour itself got canceled?
So yeah, so if we cancel the tour, you guys would get a full refund, including the deposit. But let me be clear, we will not cancel the tour. We might postpone it to 2024, but we will not cancel the tour. So Cindy, you bring up a great point about trip insurance. I can't stress this enough, especially after COVID, is buy the trip insurance, because that insurance is what you're going to need to protect yourself, because let's say it's 3 days before you're set to go and you're excited and you want to go and you get COVID and you don't even have any symptoms. But if you test positive, you're going to need that insurance to get that refund. So I can't stress it enough. Get the travel insurance.
Yep, that makes sense.
So I have a question about that actually, because a lot of travel insurance like specifically excludes mix from things that are covered.
Mhm.
So I'm assuming that this insurance does not do that.
That's correct. So COVID, they listed as as a standard, because what you're paying for, there's 3 different levels of insurance, and the highest level is you can cancel for any reason and still get all of your money back, minus the cost of the insurance, because the insurance company isn't going to give you your premium back. But yeah, that is the best insurance policy, at least that we offer. You could go out to the market and look for other things too. And I don't know if you can see, Zoom is going to cut us off in about a minute. So if I hang up on you, it's not me, it's Zoom. But if you guys need anything, if you want to talk, later, you can always give me a call on my cell phone, or, hop on another Zoom call next week and we can, make sure and answer all of your questions. Because I just want to make sure you get all your questions answered before that 30-day deadline to make your decision.
And then you've got an email that we can email you
Yes.
also, right?
Yep, you can shoot me emails too. Yep. But if it cuts me off, I just want to tell you guys thank you for for being part of this, and can't wait to show you the world. It's awesome.
Thank you.